Our first video here comes from DBD Opinions, which is doing this video talking about what your killer main says about you. Now, the characters that I would be most aligned with in terms of like a main, the characters that I'm best at, would be Hillbilly and Huntress. So those are kind of the characters that I am the best at, that I've sucked the most time into. So that would be the closest thing I have to a main. In terms of this video, this is a content creator we have not watched before, so now more than ever, click that link in the chat that just showed up. If you're in YouTube, this will be in the description below, to like and subscribe to this creator because you want to support the official release of the video, or else you're a big fat jerk and I hate you. So, yeah, go ahead and get started.
I think y'all can already piece together what's going on here, but let me set like a ground scenario for you all. Imagine we're at a social gathering, a huge party, and a mutual friend comes up and introduces us. We get to a talking, we get to a socializing, and I ask you, what's your killer main in Dead by Daylight? And you say blank. This is going to be my first impression of you. Now, some people are gonna get mad, some people are gonna hate where I put them, and that's just the way it is. I don't make the rules. You chose to main these people. Kicking us off real strong with Trapper. I feel like everybody kind of knows where Trapper's gonna go. That's an immediate green flag. If you main this poor...
If you main Trapper, I think you have problems. I think you hate yourself.
Son of a... If you sit there and you main him...
You like suffering.
That is such Chad energy. Not gonna lie. I love every
I'll ask if you're
single
okay.
Trapper I go against. I don't know if I faced off against a bad Trapper. Wraith. Ooh, we are just... That's red flag energy. Y'all... Wraith's just... Ooh.
I feel like the thing with Wraith is he has a very, like, probably one of the lowest skill ceilings to a character in the game. And he's moderately okay. So he kind of draws a certain community of, like, you know, it draws a certain community of, like, hey, I can get a lot of mileage for not a whole lot of effort, you know, that kind of crowd.
You think you're better at the game than you actually are. If you tell me you're a Wraith player, I'm cautious. I'm keeping my distance. Billy, do we even need to talk about it? You all are the kings and queens of Dead by Daylight. You all have stuck by this guy. Oh, we worship you. We praise you. We love you. And they tried to nerf your add-ons.
Now, I will say this. There are a lot of Billy mains out there that are some of the most entitled and insufferable people that I that I know in Dead by Daylight. Just because they think because they play Billy that they are essentially entitled to, like, survivors playing a certain way. And, you know, those people, those are not the Chad Billies. Those are not the Chad Billies. The ones that are like, well, I'm playing Billy, so you should never pre-drop. You should never do anything ever. Oh my god. Like, those people are not the Chad Billies. They are not involved in this, in the green zone. Obviously, I should probably move my camera. He's saying that they're moving in the green zone, but I'll also move myself down here. Yeah, like, if you're out here, like, saying stuff like that, you are not a Chad Billy. You are not included.
Nurse. Okay, hear me out. Hear me out. There are a lot of really cool nurse players. A lot.
There's also a lot of really stinky ones.
But, and here's the thing, once I get to know you, it might change, but if you are a complete stranger to me, and you say, oh, I'm a nurse main. Oh. Oh.
I don't play by the rules of the game. I don't play by the rules of the game. I just put you down.
I'm gonna go grab a drink real quick, and we'll continue this conversation never. And that's the thing. Here, listen. There are a lot of cool nurse players out there. I met them. I know them. They're so fucking cool.
We're talking about on average.
Listen, at least, like, lie for a second. If you're a nurse main and we've never met, don't open with that you're a nurse main. Just lie to me real quick. Say you're like say you're a Billy player, okay? And then once we've gotten to talking, I realize you're a cool person. Then you can be like, hey, I lied. I'm a nurse player. And then you'll be bumped up into neutral. Still not a green flag. Sorry, you still do play nurse. Michael Myers. That is easily our first neutral. There are a lot of Myers out there that are just looking to have a good time. And then there's the ones out there that are gonna use his iridescent.
Yeah, just like, hey, I'm just here for the easy W with the tombstone, okay? Like, there's some people like, I love Michael Myers, he's cool, or like, hey, I'm gonna play a low tier character and just vibe, you know? And then there are other people like, hey, I'm just here to get that free Mori, baby. I'm just here to just nuke somebody out of the game and call it a day. Very interactive.
Tombstone you maybe like 20 games in a row, and then they're the ones that get upset. The red flag Myers are the ones that tombstone and then get upset when a survivor hops in a locker to counter it.
Because what else are they supposed to do? What else are they supposed to do? They have nothing else to do. Like, I don't get why people get mad about that.
The ones that legit are like, the survivor shouldn't be able to do that. Like, my God, you can insta-kill somebody.
Literally.
So yeah, you all fall flat into neutral because it is both sides. You got some so fun Michael players and then just... Oh, I hate you. I hate you, Michael players. Hag players.
Red.
I don't see a lot of you.
Red.
You all are a rare breed.
Red.
But that I can't.
That's exactly.
Red flag energy, and
it is.
You all know it. The word that comes to mind, if you were to say to me, I'm a hag main, I would go, gross. That is the...
Yeah, you spend your entire life just drawing triangles around the hook and sitting in one place. You're literally, your main goal in playing Dead by Daylight is to prevent other people from playing the video game. You are the antithesis of everything that this game does. You are literally the Sabo gamer. You are the buckle up gamer. You are that on the killer side. You were said, hey, that thing you want to do? Wrong. You're not allowed to do anything. You want to go for the hook save, play altruistically? Wrong. You want to chase? Wrong. Everything you do is wrong. And you know what I'm doing to make that happen? I'm sitting in one place. Dangerously close to another killer, huh? Hag and Skull Merchant have a little bit more in common than you would think.
Perfect word to describe hag mains. You all are gross, and you know it. Doctor. Who mains Doctor? Who goes... I'm a Dr. Main. No, you're not.
No, you're
you all
not.
don't exist. Dr. Mains, somebody had to have, like, hurt you in your life. So,
I do notice that a lot of doctors are really angry. I have noticed that. A lot of doctors are really angry gamers for some reason, and I don't know why. Like, I don't know what about that character draws, like, angry killers to him, but, like, he does have a lot of angry killers in his player base. I don't know why. It's really weird.
I don't know who hurt you, but, like, there's nice people out there. You just gotta go find them.
Alien gameplay? It was so
fun
today.
You don't have to lead this life. You don't have to be a doctor main. Huntress players.
There's my other one. There's my other one.
I think they're definitely up there and maybe the most sweaty player base.
Are they?
But, hear me out.
I feel like there's too many Huntresses to make that assertion. You know what I'm saying? There's too many. She is the top 3 most played characters in the game. I don't think there's I don't feel like there's a consensus. Some Huntresses are just outright stupid. Some Huntresses are so laggy they drive you insane. Others are like super sweaty. Others are just going for shots. Like, I feel like there's like so much dichotomy in like what kind of character, like, player you're getting behind a Huntress, that, like, I don't feel like they have a stereotype because they're just so, like, all over the place.
Yeah. Similar to Michael and Nurse, there are a lot of really fucking cool Huntress players out there. Because of that, I'm going to put them in neutral.
That's fair, yeah.
I think that's fair. Okay, you're not quite red flag, but there's no way in hell you're ever going to be green flag.
Not because of that hitbox.
The ones that go around and hit trick shots and everything, if you're like one of the trick shot ones and you're running around having a good time, you never M1, you only just want to use your Huntresses.
Your Huntresses.
But if I have to talk about the majority of Huntress players, all of them combined, I gotta put it in neutral. I don't think you're quite red flag. Neutral is such a fair spot to put all of you. Bubba players.
Oh,
ooh.
man. This one's hard.
Spicy. I feel like
this one's hard because, like, Dude, when people go for like double speed Bubba, they're chads. They're chads. They're so fun to face. But like, you know what most of them do? What do most Bubbas do? They get one person and they just park it. They just put it in park. So
a lot of people are looking forward to where I'm gonna put Bubba. Here's the thing. The people that use Bubba in chase, like they're actually chasing
hey, look, I know
survivors. Bubba is so fun to loop against. You gotta try to hug corners real tight, see if he can bump his chainsaw. Mind game.
Game acceptable with Bubba? Nah.
Mind game the
nah.
windows. Bubba is so fun.
Get out of here with that. Go on and get.
If you're one of those
Bad
liars, and I'm standing by that word, you're one of those liars who just wants to face camp, tunnel, do basement Bubba every single game. You're a liar. You're not having fun. If you're one of those Bubba players that looks at me straight in the eye and goes, yeah, I have fun doing basement Bubba every single time. No, you don't. You're lying to me. And I feel, here's the thing. I only face one of these chase Bubbas once in a blue moon.
Yeah,
I feel like I never face off against these.
That's why we
Bubbas
love
that
Meticulous
actively
Hands. Good
want to
old Moo.
It's a red flag.
That's why we love Moo around here, because Moo is one of those chase
Bubbas. I don't know
Bubbas.
how you play. That's the thing. This is all face value. You're a stranger. If you say you're a Bubba main, I'm gonna be cautious. I'm gonna be cautious. There's a chance for a redemption, but I'm keeping my distance. Freddy players, y'all, no.
Freddy players are a red flag. Freddy players, they're not playing a good character, so they're not enjoying themselves. And once again, like Doctor, for some reason, they just attract angry people. Like, what is it about Freddy that attracts angry humans? Like, Freddy has that Doctor problem where I just don't get it. Like, homie just pulls in angry people. I feel like the real people who actually enjoy Freddy, the character, and Nightmare on Elm Street as a franchise, already aren't playing Freddy because he's not Robert Englund Freddy anyways. So they're already off put. Not that Jackie Earle Haley is at any fault for that. It's just a bad script. But like, it's already not the Freddy, so the people who actually like the franchise aren't playing him, and you're not playing him because he's good. So the people that are left playing him, I guess, are just fucking miserable. Just miserable people playing Freddy, I guess. I don't know. Like, what is the appeal? I don't understand.
No. Why? Why do you main this guy? Freddy's another gross one.
When we get to Legion, I'll give my opinion.
Freddy,
it's close.
Gross.
We're almost there.
Honorary shout out. If you play Dream Palette Freddy and strictly Dream Palette Freddy, I'll put you in neutral. Okay? If
Most
you
of them.
start with I main Freddy, but I use the Dream Palettes. Okay. I'll continue this conversation. I'll be a little skeptical, but I'll continue this conversation. If you use Dream Snares, average Freddy gameplay. You're in a chase. There's a pallet right there. Dream Snare. Dream Snare. Oh, they ran to that one. But they still got distance. I didn't catch up quite enough. Dream Snare. Oh, they ran into it. Got my hit. How's that fun? Dream Snare, you get the hit. Gross. Pig players. I'm a pig main.
Bias.
But I'm going to be very unbiased with this. There's a lot
They got
of
rabies.
pig players
They got
out there
rabies,
that
man.
Suck.
They suck and they got rabies. There are so many pig players that play pig solely to try and force a head pop. Like this, it's like, it is something. It's like, this is, if before Sadako came out with the whole Force Condemn BS, the character that you played to do that sort of gameplay style was pig. And there are so many of them. So many of them. Like, the new Sadakos, they used to play pig to force head pops. That's what they did.
Right. There are a lot of really cool pig players.
And I will say, I was a pig secondary when I first started playing this game. My first two characters that I ever made were Myers and Pig. So I liked this character a lot for a long time. But I'm being real with you. Most of the player base, as they say, they got rabies. They're not the happy, fun kind. They're the biker outfit pig that, like, you know, crouches behind you so your head will pop while using tempered timer and crated gears. And they're using Hex Face the Darkness, so even if you try to search your hat, you scream midway and have to restart. Like, That is how most pigs play.
There as well. And I don't think we quite reach this like a nurse level where it's like, that's a neutral. That's a neutral.
I think that's generous. I think it's your bias showing.
There's a lot of pig mains out there that are really cool. But I can't, even as a pig
that's
main,
biased.
I can't bring myself to put them in green flag. We're not quite there. We're not quite there. We're all
You're not
a
even
little
close
scummy.
to it.
Even if we don't play
That's
scummy,
biased.
we're being a pig player, there's a little bit of we feel betrayed against the world a little bit.
Entitlement. Like
with
Billy
the
players.
state of pig.
Like some of the Billy players.
And we take it out on everybody just a little bit. Clown players, no. No.
It's straight there.
I hate going against clowns so much. Nothing drives me more crazy
I do enjoy playing clown.
than just
Not against
anti-fun.
someone.
And that's what clown is. Clown is anti-fun. Because what does he do? He removes the best part of the game, which is chases. He hits...
If that's going to be our criteria, that is most of these guys at this point. That has been behavior's like primary character design for like years. If that is a criteria which we go into red flag, this tier list is going to get very long with the red down here. That's gonna...
you with a bottle, you slow down. Cool. Chase over. The fun part's gone. This is another gross, by the way. If you're a clown player, gross. Spirit. If you follow me on Twitter, if you've watched me on Twitch, you know I've had a change of heart towards Spirit players.
Really?
I wouldn't say you're green flag, but I am neutral towards all of you now.
I'm going to say that, you know, playing any of the top 3 characters in the game kind of opens you up to conversation about, like, you play this game solely to win. Right? That's just a thing that you got to, like, that probably applies to a lot of people that play the top 3 characters in the game. What puts Spirit in red flag for me, despite liking playing this character, is what something we'll get into Legion here in a second. Is like, you know, they really, really love the Hooked on You outfit. They make memes constantly about how it's always zoomed in on her butt when it comes into, you know, the opening panoramic. They're always talking about how, like, you know, I bet Ren was really pretty when she was in the real life. Like, you know, just, oh, wrong thing. Just like, what you saying that for, bud? You know, that's, you know, like, that sort of stuff. And then you got the comp nerds who are like, they like, it's always like triple slowdown into like Stepiffle, and then they're like using the Squirgle outfit and they're sweating really hard. Like, that's why, like, this is like legitimately like red flag, right? Like, Melani's a red flag, like, yeah, like, you know, you play nurse, you know, you probably go really hard, you know, like at the game, which is like whatever. Like, you paid your $20, play however you want. Like, this, it's kind of memey. Sometimes when I hear, oh, I'm a Spirit main, sometimes I really do actually feel, I'm like, you're probably down bad for her, aren't you? And that's why you play her. Or you're a really cringy person who takes this game way too seriously. Those are the 2 lanes I go in my brain. You know, white Spirit armor. Yep. That too. That's the other fit. You're right.
Because where did you all go? I feel bad a little bit. I don't know. Did people really drop Spirit because of the changes they did?
Yes.
Spirit is still such a good spot.
Still
Spirit's
the
in
best
such
character
a
in the
good
game.
spot. But for some reason, no one plays Spirit in my lobbies anymore. I can't think of the last
Because they
time
like
I've
easy
seen
wins.
a Spirit. I
And
miss
she's not
you
easy
all.
wins anymore.
So for that, I'm putting you in neutral. Talk to me a year or 2 ago, you would have been red flag instantly. But I kind of miss you all, not gonna lie. Legion, you all, you all definitely know you're not green flag. Let's start with that, okay?
True. Very true.
Take a breath. You're not green flag. You know this. I'm gonna put you all in neutral.
I agree with that. Because there's two routes that Legion players go, very similarly to how Spirit players were. But they have a little bit more leeway. Legion gamers sometimes are people that just like, I really like just running around with probably the most simple power in the game outside of Wraith. Me stab person, me run, me stab person, me run, me vault like Survivor, me run. You know, it's like they're chill in the sense that like they understand their character is just like brainless to play, but that's like the appeal. They're like, yeah, well, they're brainless to play and they got cool cosmetics, so like whatever. You know, like they're very like head empty, but in like a positive sort of way. They're like, yeah, whatever. They look cool. I don't have to think too hard about the power, so I play them. Right? And as Tide Pod is getting into, the other half of Legion mains are like, you think Susie's like the most underrated, like Legion? I really like her pretty hair. Or, oh, I really like Julie and how she's like really commanding. It's like, you stop being fucking weird, please? Could you stop being really weird? Thank you. Can you stop being odd, please? Can you stop being a weirdo? Come on. Come on. And also, like, there is, we'll keep this as brief as possible because, you know, I found out the hard way that calling people weird for doing weird things is not something you do, even if you're correct. Is that, there's been some Legion mains who are not great people, very not great people out there in the DBD community. So I'll let you look that up on your own. Yeah, so yeah. There's that also that side of Legion, which is like, you know, they kind of fangirl. They get into that spirit territory of like, ooh, like, wow. Like, wow, they're so cute. There was also that debacle where like the Legion for a very, very short period of time were like not like they were like the only characters in the game that were like not legally of age because that was their whole deal is they were rowdy high schoolers that were turned murderers. That was their deal. They have since retconned everything through the lore that they're all 18. But like there were Legion players who hated that change and wanted it reverted. That's fucking weird. Why do you want that? I think that speaks for itself. I would drop them in red flag for that alone. I would drop them in red flag for that alone. For just for how many Legion players were outspokenly like, make them underage again. Like, huh? What do you mean by that? Huh? Yeah, I would drop him in red flag for that alone. So, yeah.
I feel like a lot of Legion players, they want Legion to be in a good spot. They don't want Legion to be overpowered, nor do they want Legion to be underpowered. They want Legion to be in a really good spot. Plague. Vomimon.
Red flag. These are the sweatiest pub motherfuckers in the planet. These guys, you will never ever meet a sweatier group of players in pubs than Plague mains. They treat this game like every game is their last. Like if they lose, they have to fucking uninstall. Plague mains are so obnoxious. I hate Plague mains. I don't know what happened. There needs to be a community meeting among all you Plague mains because for some reason you all play the game like behavior has your family hostage, and I don't know what happened, but you gotta stop. You gotta quit. You gotta quit. I don't know what happened where you all, almost 95% of you consecutively said, oh, time to try my balls off every single game. But like, you all did it. I don't know if it was a community meeting or what, but for some reason, 95% of you are the sweatiest gamers in this entire game. And you take it way too seriously. It is a party game. Relax. Literally relax.
Don't see a lot of you. I don't see
I wish I did not see
that
many of them.
Can Plague be really annoying to go against?
Yes.
Yes. But Plague players, I just feel like, are really smart. And
no, they're
I know
not.
That sounds weird.
No, they're not.
And I don't really have.
No, they're not. Me bring corrupt. Me puke on uncorrupted gens. Now you get sick. Now it's thanatophobia. Like, it's brainless. It does not require thought. You give them too much credit.
Have anything to describe it with, but Plague players are really smart. I don't think I can bring myself to do green flag, though.
No, do not.
I don't think... I'm starting to realize green flag's going to be a very small category. It really is. It's going to be neutral.
Yep.
It's going to be neutral. Ghost face. Y'all are weird.
Yeah, it's true.
Weird bunch. I'm going to just say that right now. Similar to Huntress. I guess I went ahead and...
What do you expect out of the only killer in the game that can teabag the survivors back? What do you think is coming out of that player base? You gave them the power to teabag them back. What do you think is coming out of that player base? What do you think they're doing? What do you think is coming? That's not even talking about the fact that Ghostface in Scream is a meta commentary on horror, which is kind of memey, and then, you know, Scary Movie, which, you know, now the Dirt Face mask is in the game, which is obviously totally full-blown memey. These guys are out here to mess around or to bully and to be rude and then consider it trolling. Literally, like, this is if there was a character that you main that I'd be like, oh, I'm such a troll, haha, like, you play Ghostface. By trolling, I mean actually just being an absolute piece of garbage.
And spoiled it. Y'all are neutral for me.
Neutral?
There are some of you who are...
Where are the chill Ghostface mains? Cite your sources. Where are the chill ones to balance out the mean Ghostface mains? There's like maybe like one dude out there like running like very chill Ghostface, and the rest are like are the trolls.
Really cool.
Exactly. Han said it perfectly. Ghostfaces universally think they're better and funnier than they actually are. That is so true.
Good time.
That is so true.
I think I get hit on hook by Ghostfaces more than any other killer in the game. I think the most toxic people I see usually play Ghostface, but I also face a lot of really fun Ghostface.
Do you? I wish I had your luck.
And having a good time doesn't mean like they have to farm and throw the game and like teabag the whole game and stuff. Very neutral towards y'all. Y'all have an incredible Mori. If you bring the Mori in as Ghostface, that's what I say. Every time I see a Mori, I go, it better be Ghostface.
I do this when I play Ghostface.
You just better be Ghostface. Dema Gorgon.
Green.
1 second.
Green. Green.
Do I even need to talk about it? I don't make the...
Okay. So demos are kind of like, okay. Demos are like interesting because like if you play demo, it's obviously because you bought him before he was $200. So you've been playing this game a while, which usually goes one of two ways. Either like you're just happy to have the character and you're almost always going to have a good match with, not like a good match isn't a fun match, but it's like it's always going to be a certain level of player experience behind that person because, well, they own the character, which means they did not, you know, they've been playing the game a bit. And obviously there's like when we said like the good boy memes, so there's a lot of people that play him very like either neutrally or nice just based on the good boy memes. So there's that, but you do have, once again, the idea that like, hey, some people, like with Billy, they get a little jaded because you're playing demo. So they're like, oh, well, like, you know, I'm playing the good boy and now they're being mean to me. And then there are some people that kind of like use that to their advantage. They're like circumventing your expectations. They're like, oh, okay, well, it's good boy demo. And then they're just like, okay, time to hyper tunnel. You know, like they're like, you were expecting a good boy, so I'm just gonna so like they take advantage of it. But I feel like for the most part, like people that main demo are good boys. And they do it for the meme of being a good boy.
Rules. Especially now that Stranger Things is gone. Those that have stuck by demo. Demo's just fun. Demo's fun to play as. Demo's fun to play against.
For the most part,
Demo is just all around a good time. And demos are the best of boys. Oni. Now we're fucking talking. Oni, instant green flag for me.
I put Oni neutral. For the same, I don't know. I put Oni neutral. Because, like, a lot of the people that I talk to and enjoy, most people that I know that are also play killer, like not just every once in a while, but like actually actively play killer, do play Oni. Like we all play Oni a little bit. Like all of us do, which is really funny. Like I feel like all of us, like everybody I know who plays killer, like moderately frequently, play Oni. But then, I feel like there's a very stark divide between people who play Oni because Oni has a cool aesthetic, very enjoyable power, versus the people that, you know, like Fire saying is like 180 flicking, just comp nerds, wannabe comp nerds, super sweaty gamers that play like it's comp in pubs. Like, this is a very, it's kind of like, it's kind of has that plague problem, but not as high of a percentile. Like, plague mains, I feel like, for some reason, 95% of them think they're in a tournament, even when they're playing in pubs, which is really gross. OD players have that, but to like, it's more like 50-50, 60-40, you know? So, like, some people play him because he's got a cool aesthetic and he's got a great power. Other people play him because they're either in comp or comp wannabes who just want to stomp in pubs, so. Which one are you? That's why I think it should have been neutral.
I know some people might disagree. Oni is so fun to play against, and here's the thing. If Oni's absolutely kicking ass, 9 out of 10 times it's the survivor's fault.
No, not true. Not true, especially depending on your randoms. And especially if they're doing that 180 flick stuff, like, not actual.
Played bad, and that's why the Oni's absolutely wrecking them. But if you have just a really good group of survivors, not even good, you're just average survivors, you're playing well. Oni is so fun to go against it. Oni players are just the best. Yes, if you play poorly, he's gonna seem like the most oppressive killer in the world.
I mean, he is top 10 in the game.
Onis, I fucking love you guys. Just keep doing you. Deathslinger. Okay.
Neutral.
I know a lot of Deathslinger mains personally, and they are the coolest sons of bitches in Dead by Daylight. However, there's just a toxic group of y'all out there.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. I want to put Deathslinger in green flag.
Some people are like, they like the fact. So Deathslinger for a lot of people, and as somebody who used to tertiary Deathslinger, the thing that appeals to me is it's the appeal of Huntress's hatchets without the balloon hitbox, the beach ball hitbox. So my shots feel more rewarding and more earned because they're harder to hit because his hitbox is really tiny. And it's not as active as Huntress's hitboxes either. So it's like you have a slimmer window to hit it, and it's harder to hit. So it feels way more rewarding than playing Huntress in terms of hitting a ranged shot because it's, you know, you're like, you have, you know, not the beach ball hitbox and that sort of thing. So like, I play them just to hit cool stuff. And then you have people doing clips on Twitter of like hitting you through like a hole in the wall and stuff like that. That stuff's cool. But like you said, there's a lot of Deathslingers that just like the fact that he's so aggressively anti-chase and like to just make survivors feel like crap. They're like, haha, I can just shoot you before you hit the pallet, stupid. Like, it's a lot of very mean-spirited Deathslinger players. So either you're chill guy going for cool shots, or you're like, I'm here to make people suffer. And it's like, no in between.
You all know who you are. The people that main Deathslinger
My Deathslinger's collecting dust until they nerf MFT? What do you mean, you're Deathslinger? Homie, shoot them and reel them. What do you mean until they nerf made for this? Homie, you have a fucking gun. Shoot them. Cap their ass. What do you mean until they put made for this away? I know you're 110, but you have a gun. You have a ranged weapon. Shoot them. Put them down. Like bang them. Just they try to run away from you. Just call it a day. Yeah, I would call that an overreaction. I would try playing Slayer again. Made for this, you're one of the few characters that can do something about made for this. Really good rush killers and really good range killers just say no to made for this. Like Oni, we're talking about the perfect example. Like Oni, what does made for this matter if you're in Demon Fury or you're in Blood Fury? And what does made for this mean to a blight? You just run at him, right? Same way with Slinger. Like, what does made for this mean to somebody who can literally just go? So like.
You know who you are. You know I'm talking to you. I want to put you in green flag. I really do. There's just a couple bad seeds in the Deathslinger community holding you back that if you were a stranger, And I asked you...
Brother, they need to nerf his tear radius or buff his tear radius back to being a stealth killer, and also he needs to have his ADS back.
You hear those types. You hear those people. You hear these people all the time. Make him unfair and awful to face again.
Killer main and you said Deathslinger. I would be a little skeptical, not gonna lie. It's just the way it is, I'm sorry.
Just
Pyramid
like
head.
that, and that's
Chad
the way it
energy.
is.
Chad energy.
I put him in neutral. Once again, it's literally Deathslinger. It's Deathslinger all over again. They're pyramid heads. They're going for flicks. They're going for cool shots. They love Silent Hill, which is a great franchise. Those people are neat. But then there are people that are like, I can use this killer to tunnel, and I'm going to be a hyper tunneler. You know, like, there are people that play this character because he has tunnel utility in his base kit. And there are other people that play him to go for cool shots. And it kind of depends which one you are.
I cannot get enough of Pyramid Head. Pyramid Head, they're so fucking cool. They're fun.
Or they just zone you to death and never go for
doing
cool
the
shots.
Cool trick shots.
Those guys do.
So much fun. Pyramid Heads, similar to Oni. You keep rocking and rolling. Keep rocking and rolling and doing your thing. Blights.
Red flag. Red flag. Huge red flag.
Biased.
Huge red flag.
But here's the thing.
Huge
it's not
red
even
flag.
biased, because I know a lot of other people share this.
Huge red flag.
I think facing off against a Blight is some of the most fun you can have in Dead by Daylight.
Blight is a huge red flag because we were talking about, I brought this up when we were talking about Plague. I feel like 95% of you are the most sweaty, disgusting cop wannabe nerds on this fucking planet. There is not a Plague and Blight. Your communities need to have like you need to have one of those, like, what do we call them when we taught? They were like, teachers have like workshop days. I think they were called back in the day, where we just have a little workshop and we learn about, we have like a writer come in and talk to us about like the importance of tempering our emotions in the classroom and stuff like that. You guys need like workshop days, because for some reason you two have the sweatiest, most nasty player bases I have ever met.
Do the Blight mains have his family? Sir, blink twice if you need help.
There is a 5% of, you know, Plague and Blight mains that are really chill, amazing, cool people that I appreciate so much. And there are Blights that play Blight who really do just really enjoy going fast and like hitting cool shots. And that's that good on you. I'm glad. I'm glad you guys exist. But 95% of Blights, they're using those busted add-ons. They're putting you down. They're trying to win the game as quick as possible. They're trying to get somebody out of 5 gens. Like people play Blight like behavior as their family at hostage. Like, it is. They are intense gamers. They are intense gamers, man. I wish more people played like the latter, but yeah, that's why I put them in red.
Being in a chase with a Blight is so fun. How can you not have fun against a Blight? That's the thing.
I just told you why.
Now, can't quite put you in green flag. There's a lot of really sweaty Blights out there.
Yup, it's most of them.
And
90% of them.
Blight's add-ons need a big old nerf.
Yep.
And I'm not
and they're all
taking
using
that
them,
out on Blight players.
including me. I use them
The
because I like
fact
going
that
fast.
Blight's add-ons need a nerf.
But I also don't try to
you're
win every game I
endorsing
play
the
Blight.
behavior. That's what we'll go
Yeah,
with.
Alkring.
Even if you're
Never
endorsing
use
the
Alkring.
behavior by using those add-ons. I'm sorry,
Yep,
I don't
I
make
am,
the rules.
Unfortunately.
But that's the thing. Honestly, if you told me you're a Blight player, I'm gonna be skeptical. Just a bit. Twins players, where are you all?
I don't even know
Do
what to say
you
to
all
Twins players.
exist? I can't.
I don't know what to say about Twins players.
I
would. Yeah, I'm about to say, exactly. I'll put him in a different category. I'm like, A, where are you? And B, like, why are you playing this character?
I have no opinions.
Exactly. Like, where?
Do you all exist?
There's not enough
Where
of you.
Are you? I could see a world where most Twins players are green flags. I could see a world where most are red.
I would put Twins in red flag because there's so little of them. They're all so fucking bitchy. They all whine so much. I will say that. I would not create an extra category for them. I would actually put them in red because there are a very small minority of people that main Twins, but God, do they just nonstop bitch about everything. God, they never shut up. Like, I get it. The behavior, this is probably the most neglected killer in Dead by Daylight. When I mentioned, like, I don't play like 3 killers in the game, Twins is one of them because generally they are super clunky. They always have a game-breaking bug active at all times, it feels like. Like it's the state of this character sucks, and it feels like they never gets better. But God, shut up. We get it. Like, everybody knows it. Nobody's gonna argue that with you. Why are you just non-stop, just like the most negative, aggressively entitled group of people I've ever met? There's only like 3 of you. Like, this isn't like, I don't even know what would be comparable, right? Like, it's like you're trying to start like a riot, like a social movement over like, okay, well, they got my sandwich wrong at McDonald's. I'm gonna start a riot outside the doors. Like, that is not the emotional energy in response to this. They act like they're the most oppressed gamers in the world. Like, brother, shut up. Hate them.
Flags. I don't know where to put you all. Trickster.
Red
There's
flag.
a lot
Red
of
flag.
variants of Trickster mains. I feel like some people play Trickster because he's hot.
Yep.
I feel like a lot of people play Trickster because they like the aesthetic of him and everything. With,
Red
like,
flag.
throwing knives, K-pop guy. There's a lot of things going into Trickster mains. I'm gonna do neutral. Because I'm gonna have questions.
It's either he's hot or my chase is really easy. Sometimes, depending on where we are in the map. Both of which I feel like like you're just like, I feel like those are very shallow reasons to like a character. Like,
Questions. If you tell me you're a Trickster player, my first instinct isn't gonna be like, oh, like red flag. I'm not gonna be like, oh god. But I am going to have questions, such as why?
yeah, exactly.
Why do you gravitate towards Trickster so much? I don't see the appeal to Trickster. That's the only thing. I don't know. If you're a Trickster main, tell me why. Just why. Nemesis players, y'all already know.
Yeah. Listen, the fact that I go for M2 only Nemesis and like play the way I do is very atypical. Most of them are just turbo tunnelers. Like, let's be real. Let's be honest. Like, literally, that's where I love tunneling comes from. Like, those gamers are the most aggressive tunnelers in this video game. Like, there is no greater, like, you thought it would be Pyramid Head, who actually has a base kit that really favors tunneling. Nope, it's this guy. This is the most aggressive tunneling, like, group of people in this game. Like, if you like tunneling, you're probably playing Nemesis. What I do, where I'm just like, I'm gonna only use my M2, only M1 like once a game, maybe. Like, that's really rare. I just like doing flicks. I like doing the click drag thing. It makes my little brain happy because it's a little complicated, but not too much, like Billy or Wesker or other characters that I play. Like, that's why I like them. But by and large, most Nemesis players are just me tunnel. That's why they play them. So, yeah, red flag.
You know. Do I even need to explain it? You know what? No. No. I'm not explaining myself. If you are legit a Nemesis player, do some soul searching, my friend. I'm not here to help you. Hey, I'm editing the video as we speak. I may have been a little harsh.
Why does the person give me John Green vibes? It just hit me. I've been watching this video for 18 minutes. And I'm like, this person aggressively reminds me of another human, and I can't tell who it is. Why is this just John Green diet? Why is this diet John Green? What is happening? Like, these are the same people. Did God make a DLC to another person? I didn't know you could do that. I didn't know that you could do that.
And I apologize. You're still a red
Walmart,
flag,
no.
but I'll actually give you an explanation as to why you're a red flag. To me, Nemesis mains just ooze killer bro energy.
They kind of do.
What do I mean by that? It's the killers who think it's a survivor-sided game, and that's okay if you think that. You have a right to that.
I will say, the game is still survivor-sided, but it is 4-man Swift-sided. I would say the game is a more stable and balanced place than it's ever been. It's 4-man Swift-sided. It's not survivor-sided. The general survivor team is not operating at that level of efficiency, so you don't got to worry about it.
Opinion. But they will never, ever, ever admit if something is
4-man Swift on comms, I will clarify, because some people think Swift just means 4 stacking, which is not the same level of efficiency as literally being able to call out things. Clarify that as well.
strong, OP, or too powerful on the killer side. There's nothing ever wrong with the killer side. We need to buff killers till the day we die, and they will die on that hill. And killers, they can do no wrong. They can do no wrong. They are underpowered forever. That's what I think of Nemesis players. Pinhead, another giant red flag. Another giant red flag. If you're one of those pinheads where you just want chain hunt going 24/7 and you are just strictly...
I was talking about this with Ace, and I've had more than one conversation with Ace about this, but like, we were referring to Skull Merchant, spoilers on where that's coming. There is something inherently off-putting about a person that plays a character that inherently denies fun to the other side on purpose. Obviously, that fits more with Skull Merchant, because Skull Merchant's whole plan is to stall the game and prevent any sort of gameplay at all from happening and make everybody miserable. And there's something to be said about a kind of person that plays a character that they go out, like the whole game plan of the character is to just stop anything from happening in the game. Stop all gameplay and create suffering. Pinhead is this to a much lesser extent, because you don't have to play him that way, and there are some that don't play him that way. But you know the type. You know the type that the box will never be solved. I am going to make sure of it. I'm going to run all the perks to make sure the box never ever gets solved, which means the chains are constantly interrupting you on literally everything you're doing. And if you dare try to touch that box, you know I'm there in 2 seconds to stop you, to hunt you down, and get that chain hunt going again. Like, I will say, I enjoy Pinhead. I think Pinhead's a fun character, but I play him with some box hunting, and then I like going for cool chains. That's what makes my brain happy. I like going for cool shots. I don't know if you've noticed that. I like going for cool shots. That's a thing I do. And you can kind of do that with this character. So I enjoy going for like neat chains at last second or last second chains around a corner. I think that stuff's cool. And there are people that play that way. But most pinheads play to just only like having constant chain hunt the entire game, which, you know, a la Skull Merchant is just like, I want you to play the game as little as possible, which is very, ooh. So just yeah, that's why.
Out to make the survivors have
Sweaty
the
Pinhead
least
the other
amount
day.
of fun as
Or there was someone
possible.
home the box.
Go
Yep.
get help.
Yep.
Go do
See?
something productive.
Those kind of people.
Not a fan. Not a fan of Pinhead. But here's the thing. On the flip side, playing Pinhead is really fun. Every time I play Pinhead, I have a blast. Artist players, hear me out. Hear me out.
Green flag?
Green flag.
Okay, for reference, Artist, I believe, is top 5 characters in the game. I think she is underplayed, but top 5 characters in the game. And I think the only people that play her are the people that are aware of her immense strength. I do get that there are some people that do play her to go for the cool shots. I understand that. But that's like the Blight conversation all over again. Where it's like, yeah, there are some people that play just to go for cool flicks and get clips. But most people understand that they're playing this character because of the immense strength that the character has. Right? Most people are. And I feel like any sort of character that kind of boils down to, I put myself at one end and my character at the other and I win for free. Come on. Come on.
Green flag. Once you figure out how her kit works and what she's going to be doing, it does become...
I would be permissive to put her in neutral. That is true. Because, like, there's a lot of people I know that play Artist just because, like, they find her pretty. And I find that extremely wholesome. Like, not like, oh my god, she's hot. Like with, like, some of the other characters we talked about. But, like, there are people that play her just because they legitimately feel like, she's so pretty. She's got such a cool aesthetic. And she's beautiful. And they mean it. They mean it with their whole heart. And hearing somebody who plays Artist go, I think she's so beautiful. Like, you're just like, oh, you know, it's just like, oh.
Really fun, engaging gameplay. I think it does. Yes, is she technically...
Fun and engaging gameplay? Brother, what's fun and engaging about putting a bird in the middle of the loop by the pallet so you can't go to the pallet, and then she just walks around the other side and hits you? Like, what is it fun and engaging about that? What do you mean?
A zoning killer in points? Yes. But there is counterplay.
Nope.
I do.
No, there is not. Respectfully, with every ounce of my being, I'm going to tell you that this character has very little in the way of counterplay, and you are lying to me. Where is the counterplay? Show me the counterplay besides just faking the bird last second and praying that she falls for it. Hoping the killer is bad is not counterplay. That is not counterplay.
You think artist players, they're just a whole bunch of fun. Sadako. Okay.
Red. 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 Deep red. Deep red. People who main Sadako main her because they liked the Condemn strat. Nowadays, it's a little different because Condemn is available to everybody. But if you were maining Sadako this whole time, it's because you liked forcing Condemn, which is, while that is fun for you, that is an agonizing playstyle to face. That playstyle is literally spending 90% of the match on the ground doing jack all nothing so you can get your little eye stare Mori. And now it's even more accessible to everybody. So, like, once again, it's kind of like, you playing this character, you're typically playing this character because you want to prevent all gameplay as much as possible at the behest of your own fun. So you gotta fall into that category. I think it's a little bit more not describable, excusable now, because, like, you know, Condemned is kind of more part of her base kit now. So it's not like every Sadako is confirming Condemned or going for the Condemned playstyle, because now it's just part of the normal cycle of gameplay. So by loading up Sadako, you are inherently committing to some form of Condemned playstyle just because they made it part of the normal cycle. But I'm looking at you guys. You guys who made this character for a long time. Not even for a long time, for a moderate amount of time. I know what you guys are about. You're about leaving somebody slugged to the floor for 10 million years so you can get that eye stare. I know what you're about.
Okay. Let's talk pre-buff, if that's what we want to call it. Pre-Sadako
Same brain.
rework. Because I feel like a lot of people are now claiming they're Sadako mains. And, like, we're in a very gray area with Sadako right now. We don't really know how we feel about her. Some people are hopping on the bandwagon that she's too damn strong now. I don't think I'm on that.
I don't think she's too strong. I think she's too easy for how much strength she has, if that makes sense. It would be like if Wraith was A tier. Where are you, Wraith? There you are. It would be like if Wraith was A tier. Like, Wraith is not complicated enough to justify having his power be that good, because, like, he really doesn't input a lot of anything into the match to really, like, be like, oh, cool, okay, cool, like, you did it, good job, look at all these cool, consistent results. Like, it's like that. It's like, it's nothing you really do as Sadako really, like, is really down to things you do. There are things you can do, but for the most part, you kind of just, like, casually exist and teleport, and Condemned stuff happens. And then you hit people who have tapes, which everybody's going to have tapes now because they want to avoid the teleport Condemned. So you hit people who have tapes, which is most everyone, which is, like, it's just like, there's not really a whole lot of input on your end in terms of, like, skill or expression as a player. So having her be as strong as she is for literally zero input or expression on your end, or not literally zero, but close to zero expression input on your end, is like, that's the issue, I think. Yeah, that's a good example, man. It's more like, it's like Forever Freddy, except not as agonizing. Like, the people who play Forever Freddy, nothing they did was skillful or any sort of input or player expression. They just put on the right perks and add-ons and let their base kit go burr, right? Like, Sadako's the same way now, where it's just like, you get so much value just for showing up, and that's where a lot of the frustration comes from.
I don't think I can bring myself to hop on that train. It hasn't been enough time. It hasn't been enough time, and every single time I face off against the Sadako, the TVs haven't been a problem. Just do it. What? Just do it. Grab a tape, put it in a TV. Just do it. But yes, I know a lot of Sadako players are, like, slugging and everything, so we're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Sadako pre-rework.
I mean, they did it then, too.
I'm going to put you all in neutral.
Wrong.
Because this was a killer a lot of people tossed to the side and said, she can't do anything, she's worthless, she's D tier. And the people that stuck by Sadako found a playstyle that's extremely oppressive and, you know...
and obnoxious. fucking obnoxious, too.
Big brain of y'all for figuring out Sadako and making her a viable killer. So yes, can playing against Sadako be annoying, both pre and post rework? Yes, but just the people that stuck by her, that's kind of Chad energy. Not gonna lie.
No.
Dredge.
I don't care for Dredge.
No one play.
Reed, I put him in neutral. What do you mean? What do you mean, green? That's another one of those characters that just kind of like puts himself at one end, him at the other, except he's melee, unlike Artis who's ranged, and calls it a day, right? But like, you also don't see people like touting how good this character is because he's so map dependent. So like, I don't know.
Actually, I said it and I mean it. Dredge players are good boys. And you can't convince me otherwise. If you just don't have fun against a Dredge, you must just not have fun in general.
Oh yeah, I love being in a short tile, like a path tile, and him just putting his little shroud there and then himself at the other, and I lose for free. Oh yeah, I just must hate fun, right? There's no way this character ever gets annoying for any reason. Man, I really love when it hits nightfall and I'm literally squinting the entire time because it's so dark and hard to see that I'm literally in real life squinting and having eye strain because it's too dark. Yeah, what reason could we ever have for disliking Dredge? Yeah, we're all just ridiculous. You're right. You're right.
There must be no happiness in your life. How can you look at this face, play a match against him, and not have a grand old time? Dredges are good boys.
It's the gameplay.
Weskers. That is
the definition of neutral.
Red flag energy.
They're the definition of neutral. They're the definition of neutral. Half of Wesker players are turbo tunnelers, very sweaty gamers, and the other half are just like clip farming idiots who will literally like throw in an entire game just to hit something. Like they're like the new age billies, where they just will throw an entire game just to hit a stupid skinny bird or something and call it a day. But the other half are like the sweatiest, meanest people that you've ever met. So they are quite literally like it is one or the other. There is no in between. No in between. Either you are the meanest, sweatiest, just nasty, I want to win guy on the planet, or you're like, hey, you want to see this cool clip of me hitting a rebound like Urban? Wasn't that really cool? You know, like, you're like, sure, buddy, sure. Wow, that looked cool. And you're either one or the other. You are in one of these categories. You're in one category or the other, and there is no in between.
Similar to Nurse, at least lie to me for a second. Don't say you're a Wesker player. Wesker has a very frat boy energy surrounding him, except they're gamers. Oh. Disgusting. The Knight.
Red.
Y'all can't even read that. That
Red.
says Knight players. You don't even deserve to be in this list. You know who you are. Knight is so... I might give you the Nemesis treatment.
You have all the annoying... If you play Knight, you have all the annoying parts of Artist, but not as good. And all the annoying parts of Skull Merchant, but also not as good. Like... Like, what do you... Like, if you main Knight, like, we're talking about maining Knight, right? Maining Knight. You are all the annoying parts of Artist, but bad. You're all the annoying parts of Skull Merchant, but also bad. So, like, what are you doing?
If you're legit questioning why I gave Knight his own tier,
I'm in the way of the tier,
do
but I
some
don't
soul
care.
searching, figure yourself out. Skull Merchant.
The biggest red tier.
We all saw the 50-minute game, and they're not the only one.
If you play Skull Merchant, your express purpose entering every match is to prevent as much fun as possible from happening and literally stop the flow of gameplay to extend the match as long as possible. I don't care if it's a troll. I don't care if it's funny to you or whatever.
Chess.
Like, you literally are going out of your way every single game to create an agonizing experience for the other side as possible. Like, I don't know what, like, you as a person, like, even if it's for the troll, have to have a certain level of just disregard for the feelings of other people to consistently main Skull Merchant. Because you know what you're doing is the bedrock of the community and makes people hate this game. And you're cool with that. If you're like the 0.001% like Chase Merchant main, like good on you. Good on you. Good on you. But like 99% of you try to make the longest, least gameplay filled matches of Dead by Daylight on a consistent basis. And I feel like there's something in the background with your noggin that is inherently unempathetic if that is your goal every day. If it makes ability accessible, yeah, then you're the 0.01% person. Because like when I play her, I do the same thing. I just like the info and I use it to chase better. But I don't main the character. People who main this character, they know what they're doing.
A lot of Skull Merchants are playing in this 3-gen way. There's a lot of Skull Merchant mains as well that are trying to play a more fun way. Even then, it's not fun. It's not fun. Skull Merchant is just a...
See, I know what he's talking about. There's a lot of people who main Skull Merchant who will try to say like, oh, well, I play fun. And I watch their matches. They end up 3-genning half the time anyway, if not more. They're like, well, I don't need to do ABC. I don't need to 3-gen. I don't 3-gen very often. But when I actually go and watch their matches, they are. They may not realize it because they're just trying to be optimal. But they do. They totally do. And they're lying to you when they say they don't. Yeah, they may not 3-gen as much as other people who do it every game. But they do a lot, even if they're not realizing it. There was a specific case where a specific person said that main Skull Merchant that I don't need 3-genning to win. And then in the match showcase where they were claiming that that happened, I watched them set up a 3-gen fairly early into the match. I think they literally don't get it. I think they literally don't realize it half the time. I think they literally don't realize it sometimes. Like, honestly. Honest to the man upstairs, I really don't think they get it. I don't think they actually realize that they're doing it half the time. It's just so ingrained in the base kit of the character and the flow of the game for Skull Merchant's base kit that I don't think they realize they're doing it. But we're seeing it. We're watching it happen. So...
poorly designed character. That's red flag energy and you know it. Singularity. Green fucking flag. This killer is in such a rough spot in my opinion.
Really?
And there are people similar to Sadako who are figuring it out. But unlike Sadako, Singularity's a blast to play against. Singularity's an absolute blast to play against. I'm not saying Sadako's like unfun to play against, but Singularity is just way more fun. But there's a lot of really cracked Singularity players out there. The ones that are
Larry put neutral.
Green flag. Instant green flag. There we have it. There we have it. I'm satisfied. I'm satisfied, and I think this is really accurate. I think this is really accurate. Let me know what you think down in the comments. You agree, disagree with my list. And if you liked this type of video, give it a thumbs up.
I mean, I think like there are definitely people in green that don't belong in green. There are some neutrals that belong in red. The most puzzling is Dredge and Good Boys. Like, Hobie just, like, actually doesn't at all, like, compute how Dredge could be unfun to face. Like, at all. Like, at least, like, green or neutral. But, like, up in the Good Boy section, and just, like, saying that if I don't have fun against Dredge, there's something wrong with me. You can't. You serious? Like, there's no, you really have no way to compute in your head how that works. That's wild. That's really wild. That's crazy to me. Dredge mains, yeah, you're right. This is the main tier list. This is the main tier list, and I do see a lot of Dredges play very fierce. Very, very fierce and kind of like very, something. They play a certain kind of way. Yeah, I feel like It's funny because like with this, how many characters are in red flag? I feel like this should be twice as long. I feel like a lot of characters got a pass that ended up in neutral, and even parts of green flag that I feel like should definitely be in red flag. But yeah, we already talked about that. We already talked about which ones we think would move. That's like going against someone with motion slaves who you can't like on. True, but maybe Omi just doesn't factor in the high strain. Maybe that's not something that's in their radar. I guess I don't know. I do not know. I wish Nightfall. I get the point of Nightfall is to be disoriented, but like, do I really want to be disoriented in real life? Right? Like, my survivor in the game is supposed to be disoriented. I in real life am not supposed to be actually disoriented, but it actually is disorienting, which is icky. Same thing you said with Clown. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a mean, grouchy person, but I would put a lot more of these people in red and a lot more of these people from green down into neutral. Funny and amusing, that's irritating. I'm glad you think so. One of my biggest pet peeves, Frick, is wasting my time. I hate having my time wasted. So somebody just sitting in front of the hook and preventing me from playing when I already was in queue for a little bit, and now I'm in a match, and now the match doesn't matter. Yeah, it's not funny to me. I'm just like, brother, I could have been in a match actually getting blood points and doing things. So like, yeah, it's not funny to me. Well, I mean, like, the meme of face camping in the basement in Insidious Bubba has been a thing since the character has come out. Like, it's been years and years and years. The joke's not funny anymore. like the joke wore out a long time ago and people still do it. Like, get over it. Not funny anymore.